Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also tuning into our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. But as you guys know on this program, we, like the rest of the world, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of a movie that I think is called one of the greatest movies of all time, The Godfather, this year. And during that conversation, had a chance to speak with Gianni Russo. You guys got to know not only, of course, from that film, but also from his book, Hollywood Godfather. As you guys also know, recently we lost James Caan, one of the actors from The Godfather, but also from a lot of other great projects. Mr. Russo is back with us today to talk to us not only about, of course, this reflection of The Godfather, of course, his thoughts on Mr. Caan, and then, of course, we'll remind you how you can get your own copy of his book, Hollywood Godfather. That is definitely a must-read. Mr. Russo, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you, my man, always.
Well, look, it's great to speak with you twice in 1 year. As I mentioned, we spoke as The Godfather was celebrating its 50th anniversary. We're back now because of the recent passing also of James Caan. I want to talk to you about this experience for you as you've been talking about this movie and also your book, Hollywood Godfather. What has it been like for you to see how this is still resonating with so many people, Mr. Russo?
Well, it's amazing to me because here we are 52 years later. We made the movie, and it's still a big topic. And now the offer a TV series. I'm a character in a TV series now because of this movie. So it's a gift that doesn't stop giving, fortunately.
Yeah. You talk about your life before and after The Godfather in your book, Hollywood Godfather, which I read and definitely enjoyed. You also talk, though, about what the dynamics were like with the cast. And, of course, we know, sometimes, there are definitely differences for sure. As we are looking at the passing of James Caan, as I mentioned, is known for a lot of great roles, but especially, of course, a lot of people remember him from The Godfather. What has it been like for you to reflect on your dealings with the cast and Mr. Caan?
Well, I really didn't, I did another movie with Al Pacino, Any Given Sunday. I've done The Freshman with Marlon Brando. I never really did another movie with James Caan. There was a small movie we did, and it was never released. But Jimmy and I never got along. But I thought it was just him being a thespian and a method actor, and that was the way he projected on screen is where he projected off screen. So I don't know Jimmy other than being funny as Jimmy. So, I mean, it's off. I've never socialized with him. And, again, what most people don't know, he really hurt me in the fight scene. He chipped my elbow and broke 2 ribs, which was unnecessary because we choreographed it a day before, all day, and nothing happened. We were all on the mark and hit the right points, and it just happened. And then the next day we come to shoot it, and he ad-libbed throwing a bat at me and hit me right on the head. He must have been practicing all night. So, I mean, it was like that kind of a thing. And never me being on a set, I thought that's what happens, I guess. And I made up my mind that day I would never do another fight scene. I'd rather do love scenes. You don't get hurt. Hello.
Yeah. Well, and you, the thing that I respect about you so much, Mr. Russo, and again, I had read your book in preparation for our first interview together this year, Hollywood Godfather. Definitely invite people to read it. In chapters 6 and 7 of the book, you talk about the Godfather experience, and you're very candid about that, which is why I wanted to be very respectful of you in this conversation, and because I really respect the fact that I think at a time where it's very easy for anyone to say anything, you've definitely have been very honest about your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own journey for sure. With that being said, though, I mean, how did you get to that place? I mean, do you think just being who you are has helped you just to be okay with just being you and not feeling like you have to go along to get along?
Well, to me, no. I'm nice to everybody. It's the only way I've been all my life. I'm blessed with what I have, and from my beginnings, as you read in the book, I was quarantined for 5 years in a state hospital with polio in 1949, and that in itself was a hard journey. And once I got out of that, I just appreciate everything I have. I'll be turning 80 in December, and I'm still very thankful. So to me, life has been great, and I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. And some people don't. They're arrogant, they're belligerent, and they're angry. Right now, De Niro and I were very close, and he's very angry now after this last divorce, which I can understand. But, you got to move on. Life is fun.
Right. Well, and I think that's the other thing. That's why I really want people to read this book, Mr. Russo, because I love the fact that you do kind of lay it out, even your life before The Godfather, and you talk about that experience for sure. Would it be a fair assessment to say that The Godfather changed your life?
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, most people remember the last sign that Michael said to me in the last scene of the movie when he said, "No, Carly, your punishment, you're out of the family business, you're going to Vegas." Well, I own the family business now. I own Corleone Fine Family Foods. You go online. I sell it in 73 countries. I own Genco Olive Oil. Nobody thought of doing that. I bought all that up. And it's still a very lucrative business to me. So the movie The Godfather basically, is just still keeps giving to me financially and publicity-wise and everything I do in my life. I mean, I don't know what I would be if the movie The Godfather wasn't around.
Gotcha.
It's a 52-year experience.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It is one of the things that truly is timeless. But I think the other thing that comes away from your book, Hollywood Godfather, Mr. Russo, is that even though it was defining, you weren't defined by it, because you talk about even after that, about the life you've been able to live. Talk about family for you, because The Godfather, part of that whole story and the draw to it was family. What has it been like for you to be able to show the importance of family in your own life?
Well, in fact, I'm reflecting that right now in a new thing I'm doing with the Today Show. I'm trying to get the family back to the dinner table together. We've all gone our separate ways, and these pandemics and these COVID situation, the last 3 years have been very draining on anybody economically. Family members that we've lost. But I think we have to go back to the basics. We got to respect each other and get to visit each other. And put your phones away and your computers and whatever else you're doing. You come to my house, you can't use them. You're here for the hour or 2 or 3. Let's enjoy each other. And I think that's what we got to get back to, communicating. I see people calling their sister and they're sitting across from the room. I mean, it's crazy. Right. They're texting.
Yeah.
We got to learn to communicate again. And I think that's the biggest problem we're having in society. Nobody's communicating one-on-one.
Well, definitely, it's a great book. And I love the fact, Mr. Russo, you talk about the importance of looking at your life as an example for young people as to what they can achieve if they're willing to do the work. And I think that's the thing. And I love the fact that for you, that work continues. Well,
that was the main reason I wrote the book. I'm fortunate. I have 11 children, and I have 10 grandsons. So, I'm trying to impress 21 people from an age range from 3 months to 60 years old. But nobody's home. Nobody's listening. It's like, So I wrote this book. And fortunately, with all the reviews, and it's still a bestseller, I get mail from everywhere just on my podcast, and we accept these invitations from people listening to me in China, in Australia, in Great Britain. So I'm glad I'm able to make an impression and contact with all these people throughout the world, which, without electronics and what we do, as you do in the radio business, we speak to a lot of people, and if they're listening, we want to give them a good message.
Exactly. Again, everyone, Gianni Russo has been our guest. Mr. Russo, thank you again for the time. I want everyone to get the book, Hollywood Godfather. And Mr. Russo, you're welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's go make today amazing. Take care.